Well, before 2008, I regarded my role as a veterinarian in a conservation organisation like the Old Natal Parks as a privilege. I really felt that I had probably one of the best jobs a veterinarian could ask for. And then since 2008, which is when the poaching sort of started surging upwards, the whole focus of my work has changed. Last year alone, between my young colleague and myself, we did 176 post-mortems. I don't know how many wounded rhino I've had to treat with gunshot wounds. I don't know how many orphans I've had to rescue. And this has really all just been to the neglect of the good conservation work that we used to do. Since the last COP17, I've watched 4 local extinctions of rhino, 2 on state-owned land, 2 on private properties, which amounts to a loss of approximately 100,000 hectares of prime rhino habitat. All I know is what we're doing at the moment is just not enough. Something has to change. There has been absolutely no improvement, no light on the horizon since the last COP. And if we don't change and do something different, we're going to continue losing rhino. The feeling is, well, why is there reluctance to change? And that's when you start mistrusting the system. You start doubting the motives behind politicians, behind influential people. Why aren't they behind this? I have not met a single conservationist, a single rhino owner, not one, that is not pro legalizing the trade, not one. The ongoing poaching is simply, and the ban on poaching on rhino horn is simply playing into the hands of the poachers and the syndicates and the corrupt officials that are involved, into the hands of animal rights organizations that are supporting us, really with what I refer to as blood money, because the more rhino that die, the more money they're going to get. If we're not killing rhino anymore, there's no reason for their existence. They'll have to go and change their focus and look at something else. It's an automatic response waking up is to check my cell phone, because we are on a program that lets us know if there's been an incident during the night, whether there's been gunshot fired. That simply means that there's a possibility of a wounded rhino or a dead rhino out there. So one of the 2 vets that are available will have to be on standby. We're going to get a call and there's a helicopter will come and pick us up and off we go. So it's just a continual, every morning waking up and being on standby. It interferes with your daily life. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. This is the frustrating thing about these autopsies that we do. They are forensic examinations, so they're done in a sequence and done according to forensic principles. We collect evidence, we keep note of the chain of evidence, we write out statements, and you would expect that you're going to be getting some results. The only time that I can recall ever getting a result from any of the many post-mortems I've done is when we achieve an arrest within 12 hours of the incident. If it's older than 12 hours, the people have long time gone. We never get any ballistic results coming back on the bullets and bullet heads that we recover. We never get any information coming back to the DNA, any linkages. Perhaps there are that I don't know about it, but we certainly don't get told about it, and I never get called to court. I know that I've been affected, and one has to take a break every now and again. It's nothing worse than just seeing a wounded rhino, for instance, running around that you need to put down. And these are hard decisions. It doesn't get better, it's only getting worse. And this is why I'm saying we have to change the way we're doing things. The other thing that has changed, though, is this time of the year when it's nice and cool, we'd normally be busy working with rhino. I'm talking about healthy rhino. We'd be involved in translocation programs. We'd be doing other capture of various other species. In terms of rhino, that's not happening anymore, just simply because there are no more rhino to translocate. We don't have excess. As the time has gone on and we're starting to lose more rhino, people have changed the tactics. They've introduced new strategies. We started dehorning, for instance, was one thing. Remember, that's very time-consuming. There is a certain element of risk to the actual rhino itself, from the drugs we're using and also the terrain that we're working in. And it's non-sustainable, so you've got to keep it up, every year. We thought it was going to be every 2 years, but we started losing rhino before a year was up, so we now realize that we are going in on an annual basis. So it takes up a lot of my time. We've improved the technology that's out there in terms of surveillance, etc. That's ongoing. We've got what we call intensive protection zones. I don't see, we haven't seen any specialized forces or anything like that coming in, but that's probably something that's on the cards. The intelligence that we're getting is being better used. perhaps the informer funds that are there, which is a bit controversial, but informers need to be paid. Is the system's probably getting better, but we're still losing rhino. I think it's crazy and stupid even to continue doing what we're doing now because it's not working. Full stop. We have to try and do something different.